What does mine say?
Dude.
I'm a dick. He's a dick. She's a dick. Cause we're all dicks.
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
The fuck is this?
Obviously, you're not a golfer. I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or duder or, you know, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Hey guys, what's up? I figured today would be a real simple video. On the ECC video I did, people wanted to know about the Jeep that Farmer was running. So I figured since I'm in the process of taking it apart and kind of redoing it, I figured I would show you what all it is. So let's jump into it and I'll kind of do as much as I can. Alright, so this is the Jeep. It is an Scx10 PRO, which I did a build video on that as far as just kind of what I did. But I'm going to try to talk a little bit more in depth about what I did and what seems to work. And yeah, how I made this thing. So, as you can see, it's a Jeep. Started out as the Tamiya Wrangler TJ, YJ, whatever J it was. I obviously cut the hood off, or cut the roof off, cut the doors off, cut the whole back half off. Pretty much just used these the side and the front, and then made this whole back half. As you can see, the shock towers do stick through. For last year's SORCA rules, it was legal, it was fine. It doesn't count for a drop bed not being deep enough anyways, so it doesn't really matter. The roll cage and everything was a little bit overthought, but hey, whatever. I did make the cage. It technically screws into the back here, and then also has 4 screws that connect to the rock sliders. So you can take the rock sliders on and off. Made it pretty easy to take the body or the cage itself off the rock sliders. But yeah. And then I added a couple tabs on the inside that are elevated to put the interior, which is what this guy was for. There would have been the interior. And the interior literally basically just sat on top of the transmission. And that's part of one of the reasons why I'm redoing this is, as you can see, the interior got all kinds of beat up. It used to extend and have the holes to actually slide through the screws that I had sticking up in these little tabs. So you can kind of see. There's screws in those tabs that stick up, and I would just run a nut through, or just run a nut to clamp it down, hold it down, and that worked for a while. Worked good enough. But you know, the more you take it on and off, the more abuse it's going to take, and the more it's going to come apart. I also used the thinnest the thinnest styrene I could find, I could get, partially just to try to keep it light because I did add a driver and everything. But by doing that, it made it weaker and fall apart easier. So I'm going to be redoing the interior, possibly. I might even just change the body on this. It did, when it was ran at ECC, it was running a Shifts RC GT3S up front, but it currently has a ProTech servo in it now. I think it's the, which one even is this? The 370 TBL, which honestly is just a servo that I had sitting around because that shift's servo ended up in a different truck. And then it is also running the shift. Jesus. The shift XLP servo winch, which is a great all-in-one servo winch. It's awesome. The front bumper, custom made, custom welded, meant to just fit inside the mount, the stock mount for the 10 Pro. And then because we had a gap, where the bumper mount would be, I just glued on one of these old Proline winch mounts, or not winch mounts, fake winches, and drilled a hole and used that as the fairlead. So kind of gained an actual little scale point, which is cool. And it looks fitting. And then had to shave up the grill, as you can tell. I'm actually considering selling this whole Jeep body and cage, just because I'm, like I said, there's a good chance that I'm going to be changing the body over to the bug body, and redoing like three other trucks. The motor that it was running was the Slither Team Brood from Team Brood. It's a 35 turn motor. I freaking love Team Brood stuff. Love the feel of the brushed motor over most anythings. So that's what I run in it. And that's what Farmer ran in this as well. So as you can see, there's nothing on there now because the rock sliders were attached to the body. But basically I had the receiver right on the rock slider right there. I had my BEC tucked up underneath in this little gap right up in here, which really helped save on space. And then the motor obviously fit right here. And I was running the Mamba Micro X2 ESC. It's like the only ESC I run. They're small, compact, and they pack quite a good punch. But ESC sat right here, and the little 650 battery pack sat right here. This is one that I got recently, but the other ones that I normally run are Gens Ace Tattoo batteries that are also 650, that are perfect design, perfect dimensions to fit right up in there, right underneath the interior that it had. The inner fenders were literally just a piece of styrene that I cut. Drilled the hole right where the shot goes, and that held it. I do run into the issue, because this one sticks out a little bit, you do run into the issue of the tire hits and makes noise. But nothing trimming can't fix. Clearly, I just did this. These were just there for points for the Sorka comp. So shock wise, I'm running Draft-Tex, purple Draft-Tex, deluxe shocks. Up front are the soft springs, actually the soft springs from Deluxe. Normally on most rigs I'll run the Low C Mini T pink springs, but I don't think I changed the springs after we ran at ECC. And then the rear has the orange Low C springs. Been basically just to kind of help push the front down. I believe I'm running 25 weight in all 4 shocks, which is a little on the thick side, but with these shocks, they come, I believe, factory with the 2-hole piston, and I mean, it's a little thick for that, but you can put the 3-hole pistons in there and, you know, obviously run thicker or change it up. There's plenty of stuff you can do. The only brass that I have is the SSD steering knuckles. Jeez. The brass SSD steering knuckles that are up in there. I bought them to just try and test and play around with, just see how the weight helps, see if it did anything. My opinion, didn't really help, but it didn't hurt either, so I just left them on there. I'm not a super fan of adding every brass component out there, so yeah, honestly, it did the climbs that I wanted it to do without the brass, and it did the climbs that I previously did with the brass. So and it still performed good, as you saw, with a good driver driving it. What else? The tires are the ProLine crawlers, BFG crawlers, with the Crawler Innovations dual stage comp cut, heavy duty, firm in the rear, medium in the front. So basically did that just to try and keep the rear stiffer than the front. The front you want a little bit softer to kind of help grab on those rocks and whatnot. So and then basically everything else is Scx10 PRO, obviously. So that is everything on this. If you want to see how I built it and all that, you go check out the Scx10 PRO build. If you want to see more of the builds that I've did, more videos like this, let me know. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and more importantly, just let me know what you want to see. Do you want to see more running footage of stuff? Do you want to see more video breakdowns of me stuttering over myself and not knowing what I'm actually talking about? Or do you want to just see me act like an idiot? What do you want to see? Oh, geez. But yeah, sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those things. And I'll drive with you next time. You know, peace out, homies.